Hey, Low Riders. It's me, Lois. Happy Sunday. And I'm here to talk about the last two episodes of Love and Marriage Huntsville because I just watched them today. I'm going to try and do a condensed version, but I'm going to start with the scene at the bowling alley. I think that scene was totally unnecessary, especially with Ken addressing Martell about Trish being upset about him not recognizing her. Why should she even care? Why would you care that another man did not recognize you? Okay, he don't know who I am. All right, then keep it pushing. You went home and had a conversation with your possible future husband to be about another man, and leaving out the part that there's a possibility that you and him were trying to have a relationship or working towards a relationship, but it just didn't come to fruition. I bit my tongue again. I hate when I do that, y'all. Please forgive me. So that conversation was unnecessary. But Chris, all those questions you was asking was right on, Chris, because you was cracking me up. How you know her? So how you know her then? So where did you meet her? And by who? And just, oh, so you neutral now? Oh, because you just was cutting up these last two episodes, and I'm okay with that. I want to see a lighter side of you, but I also want to see you being the gentleman that you have appeared to be prior to becoming a full-time cast member. Okay, so enough about that. I want to talk about Martell and Stormi and this bullshit relationship that they're building or whatever the flipping dip they're doing. Stormi, first of all, what you did and what Martell did are two separate things. Okay, just because it said harassing communication, there was something that it said with your harassing communication as opposed to Martell's. It clearly said domestic violence, okay? So that's a whole different story. But for you to try to make it seem that a melometer or a mellometer came down to your store to harass you is just bullshit. The same way you're on the internet at 4 o'clock in the morning talking about you didn't know that this woman was a customer and you cussed out and you got mad, boopity boppity bam, and now you're trying to make it right by wanting to take out to dinner and do things like that. Is possibly what could have been the case with Black Titanic. No, I'm not in agreement with anyone coming down to your business, your place of business. That I am not in agreement with. But the fact of the matter is that you threatened that woman bodily harm and you threatened her with a pow-pow. And that right there is why there were 2 warrants on you. So stop trying to act like this woman was harassing you because she wasn't talking to you. It was the other woman that was with her that was talking. It was because you was threatening them. And she said, come on and do it, basically. The bottom line is you wasn't going to do nothing. So how you came out of your bag all disrespectful to do with 2 older women that came to your place of business instead of just calling the goddamn cops. It's bullshit, Stormi. You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. You literally, because it's on video, it's all over the internet, how you disrespected these women, how you threatened to do bodily harm to them, how you threatened, said you walk around here and get pow-pow. Those are actual threats. And that woman was not harassing you. You don't know why she was there because you didn't give her the opportunity to speak. You just went off to left field. And I get it. I get that's your business and people have been picking on you, but you can't assume that everybody is picking on you just because of Melody and the millimeters, because that's not the case. This woman is not even a millimeter, okay? You can't blame everything on the millimeters. Y'all are just trying to use the millimeters as clickbait. Everything is our fault, but it's your fault. Your actions, your words, your threats. That's your fault. That has nothing to do with me as the millimeter, okay? That has nothing to do with being harassed. You literally harassed her. if she was going to harass you, you should have let it play out, but you didn't. You wanted to sound big and bad, because sometimes women do that. They want to sound big and bad in front of their men and their people and so forth and so on. But you look like a goddamn clown. And then to sit and lie and try to twist the story into something else to suit your narrative, again, is bullshit. You need to own your behavior, because you've been going off the deep end since you've been on the show. Okay, so that had nothing to do with a millimeter. You went off on Destiny. She also went off on you. Both of y'all crazy as hell, because y'all are the ones that brought the violence factor to the show. Okay, people was talking shit before, but y'all want to throw hands and threaten people. And that's what your makeup is, and that has been Destiny's makeup since both of y'all came on the show. So maybe you need to look at the man in the mirror and figure out why you feel the need to go off and threaten people without even knowing what the full story is, Stormi. And still on you, the conversation you had with your mother, I did feel a little sympathy for you. But you heard your mother say, I go online and talk shit about Melody. I mess with Melody. You heard her say this. And not one time did you check her and say, Mom, why you got to do that? Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to bother this woman and then blame everything on her or the millimeters when they attack you back? Because you can't keep hitting people and poking at them and expect no response from them. And then when they respond to you, you want to get an attitude and call her everything but the child of God. Mom, she is not your peer. She is not in your age bracket. You should not even be bothering this young woman. She's not thinking about you. She's paying dust. But of course, you couldn't do that because you want to make it seem like it is the millimeters. Well, it's not. It's your mama and her big ass mouth interfering in shit that she ain't got no business in. And the fact that she said it's your fault for getting on a reality show leads me to believe that your mom is a little jealous of you, Stormi. She's upset with your success because had it not been for Love and Marriage Huntsville, you may not be where you are right now. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously you did not know what the next steps were that you were going to take to launch and get your shit off the ground. Because remember when you came on, you was doing hair care, okay? And then something happened and now you're into skincare. But if it had not been for the show, it would not have catapulted you to the success that you are at right now. And that's a fact. And that you need to own. Yes, this show has been beneficial to me, Mom. It's also beneficial to you for the things that I'm doing for you. Okay? But you really need to sit down and talk to your mother in a different manner than you did today, because she sounds like she's ungrateful for your success. She's ungrateful that you have elevated your life and succeeded past or beyond her dreams ever could be, and that she wants you to be that little girl that she still tells what to do and uses tough love. Well, come on now. You've graduated from that, and Mama should have graduated from that. The moment you got your first millions, her whole entire attitude should have changed. But your mama's a weird case. But I do like that she did apologize to you, talking about she don't apologize. There's going to be a time that she's going to wish that she had to apologize or was able to apologize, because she got that stubborn ass attitude, and she's that type of person that I don't do nothing I don't want to do. I'm not, and I told people I don't apologize. I'm not going to apologize. If I said it, I meant it and all that other. She sounds like a 12-year-old. She sounds like a 12-year-old. And I think that maybe you do need some time apart from your mama, because your mama is trying to hold you in a place of you owe me. And yeah, that's what I'm getting from your mama. You owe me. I don't give a fuck if you don't like the way I raised you or the way I talk to you. Boop da bop da bam. You owe me. Now that you are successful, you owe me. And I'm going to come when I feel like it, and you better send me a limo to get me. That's all I got to say about Stormi. Now I want to talk about this house thing with Moses and Sonny. and Martell and Chris meeting up and so forth and so on. You know, I didn't like the fact that Nell thought that Chris Fletcher, who's been a broker, a real estate agent for 20 plus years, has to tell another person what the fuck he is doing in his business that helps provide for their family. What? Where they do that at? Destiny don't own Chris, and Destiny don't own you. So now you dictating how Chris should be treating Destiny. And by you doing that, I also see that you really don't have a lot of loyalty to Melody. I'm just seeing, I'm seeing the things creep out. Maybe other people are not seeing it, but I am seeing it because of the fact that you guys want to remain neutral when it comes to Martell and his infidelity and his out-of-wedlock child with his mistress. You want to remain neutral, but you chose a side when you're choosing Destiny because of the situation where she's going through with Sonny, but not the fact that she's treating Mel like dog shit and talking shit about Mel in every fucking interview she does on this world-class tour she's on. She has to bring Melody up. She doesn't know how to do an interview without mentioning Melody because she's insecure. You know, and the bullshit she talking about, I could get Moses back. I guarantee, I know I can. I know I can. I don't think so. I think that man is in a place where he's willing to work on what he needs to work on to make this marriage last. But now, Lanelle, for you to tell Chris that it's a conflict of interest, it's bullshit. Because first of all, Destiny doesn't own Huntsville. Okay? And Chris has been in Huntsville for eons and doing the same business for eons. Why does he have to notify Destiny? Why would you think that your husband should notify another woman about the business he's doing with another woman? Okay? Why do you think that's okay? Okay? So it's like, you're trying to force Destiny on Chris. Now he talking about that's his little sister. She ain't been his little sister. Now all of a sudden she his little sister. I don't understand it. Y'all are all full of shit. I just think that every one of y'all have a narrative of going against Melody just because y'all want to make Martell look like the good guy when he's a fucking piece of shit. He behaved badly during his marriage and after his marriage. And every one of you watched him behave badly and treat the mother of his children like shit. And y'all just stood on the sideline saying, well, they're both our friends. Well, honey, with friends like you, I don't need enemies, okay? And like Melody said, if you're not with me, then you against me. You are an enemy of mine. Okay, she may not have said that, but I'm saying that. Alleged, in my opinion, with some actual and factual. I'm putting my own little spin on it, okay? If you ain't riding with me, you riding with them. If you ain't a low rider, then deuces, okay? That's what I heard Melody say, okay? So, I want to talk about the meeting with the kids at the house. And I get where you were coming from. But, Lanelle, you said that you were dropping this in Chris's lap. And you were going to let Chris take care of it. And you didn't. You just had to take over. You had to take over the conversation. And you were really cold about it, the way you were talking to them. Excuse me, and a couple of times I've seen you talk to your children. That's how you talk, and that's how you come across. You don't come across as a nurturing mother at all. I feel like Chris is the nurturer, and you're the bully, like Stormi's mother. You know, it's just do what the fuck I say, and that's that. You know, and then when Chris suggested therapy, after all the talking was done, you said, I'm not doing that. Why would you say something like that now? You're asking your children to wean off of you and stop coming to you for money and blah, 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 and boopity, boppity, bam. And they want to talk about why they are so financially dependent on you and Chris. They want to talk about that. They also want to talk about other things, but you don't want to do it. And then, yeah, I saw the preview from next week when your son was telling you how you listen to answer. And that is a fact. You don't really be listening. You just be waiting to answer. You just want to have a comeback. You're not hearing what they're saying to you. You just want to have a quick response. Well, that's being the older woman is supposed to be more graceful on this show. I would think you would have a little bit more empathy and humility for your children when they're expressing things to you as adults. Because as children, they probably had to take a lot of shit from you. But as adults, they are now able to express themselves and you're not allowing them to. So yes, they need a third party in there to hear what they have to say and really listen to what they're saying, because you're not listening. You're just talking and out the side of your neck most of the time. You're yelling all the time. And it's, why do you always have to be on 10 with your children? And if there's something wrong in a relationship with your children, Linnell, I think it's something that you caused. I really think it's something that you caused. Especially if your young son does not want to come around you guys because of the way you treat him. And that's all I got to say about that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the dinner with Sonny and Moses and Kimmy and Maurice. I actually thought it was a very good dinner. And I thought that initially Kimmy was going to get on my nerves. Because the bottom line is, Sonny and Moses were invited to Huntsville by Carlos King to be on his show. Okay? Just like Destiny was invited. Destiny does not own Huntsville. That is not her town. According to her, Detroit gang is what she put up there as a subtle threat to Melody, alleged, and in my opinion, with some actual factual. So she is not from Alabama and she can't be claiming Alabama. You know what I'm saying? She cannot stop anybody else from moving to Huntsville, Alabama, especially if their job is going to be there. And if the show lasts, it's a definite that Moses and Sonny will come back. But it's not a definite that Destiny is going to come back. Not if she's going to continue to make them her storyline. Because they have other things going on. And I had said this a while ago, and then Maurice said it too. They are equally yoked because their mindset is the same. And I understand now what his urgency, Moses' urgency was and is for getting married and having children, because he's wasted most of his life in jail. But you did get back on track, Kimmy, and y'all, once y'all started asking questions and listening to what they were saying, then you were like, okay, that makes sense, that does make sense, what you're saying and what you're doing. But Destiny does not own Huntsville, and it's none of Destiny's business if they choose to buy a home in Huntsville, if they choose to set down roots in Huntsville, if they choose to have children in Huntsville or wherever they're going to have children, and bring them to Huntsville or raise them in Huntsville. That is not Destiny's business. Destiny's just going to have to learn how to deal with it. Just like LaBarrick had to deal with all of her shenanigans and bullshit. She going to have to just leave them the fuck alone. She don't own Huntsville. Okay? She is not the queen of Huntsville. All right, so she can't tell anybody who can come and who can go. They were invited, and a lot of people seem to forget that. The reason they are in Huntsville is because they were invited to be on the show. And they were invited to be on the show by Carlos King. Okay? So Destiny didn't have a nickel in that quarter. She is not part of the hiring and firing process. So she needs to shut the fuck up. It's not her business. It's not her show. And it's not her town. And that's all I got to say about that. Low Riders, thank you so much for listening to me on this Sunday. I hope you guys have a restful night. It is 100 and something degrees here in the Pacific Northwest. And tomorrow it's going to be 102. And I think it's going to be 103 on Tuesday. And then it'll go down to 90 something on Wednesday. Then 80 something on Thursday. I'm looking forward to Thursday. Okay? because this heat is ridiculous. I don't have any air conditioner in this room. We have one in the bedroom and one in the living room. So all I got is a little fan right here. But I'm about to get on Temu and get me one of those little fans that act like an air conditioner. I'm going to need one of them because all this heat. Y'all see my sweat trying to form? Oh, yeah. I don't feel like combing my hair. I don't feel like doing nothing except eating. I do feel like eating though because I like to eat. But I really appreciate each and every one of you guys listening to me. I think I'm going to go ahead and review the new show. But I think I'll do that review with Michael because some of you guys like to see Michael. So we'll watch. I didn't watch the first or the second episode. So we'll watch them both back to back or maybe one day and then the next day. And then we'll talk about them one day this week. I don't know which day it's going to be, but it is coming. So I hope you guys stay tuned. And please get below, get in the comments, tell me what you think about this video. And I also want to encourage you, please, to go back and look at some of my older videos if you haven't seen them. They do help with the algorithm and, you know, getting my numbers up and so forth. And tell your friends and family, subscribe. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Mwah! Peace.